Okay, we're going. Nice, deep, centering breath. And another. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Okay, so we're ready to begin. Just want to say a few words about the mantra that we're doing. So the Ganapati Mahamantra is an extension of Ganesha's root mantra, Om Gam Gaṇapataye Namaha. So as the remover of obstacles, that root mantra is sort of a general, sort of works on anything kind of deal. It's as good at helping you get over emotional blocks as it is to help you find a parking space when you really need one, right? It works for all kinds of stuff on all sorts of different levels. This one, the Ganapati Mahamantra, is an extension of that. So most of the words that are included in the root mantra are also in this mantra, but then it adds a whole bunch of extra ones. And what those extra words, what those extra sound vibrations do is they direct the energy of this mantra towards a particular situation. And in this case, it's directing you towards the greatest obstacle that is in your way right now, which is your own ego, your own sense of separateness, your own sense of being an individual surrounded by an infinite number of other individuals rather than being one part of an infinite whole, right? So this ego mind, this part of your mind, which we call the ego in English, in Sanskrit the ahamkara, is the thing that kind of like is in control most of the time. When we're living what we think of, generally speaking, at this time as normal life, we're existing in a state in which your ego or your separate self is kind of calling the shots. And so you are operating in your life from the point of view of, I'm a separate being, I'm not intimately or integrally connected to everything else that's happening. I can try to make connections here and there whilst I'm focusing on them, but you're not seeing things as a whole. When that does happen, that's either an experience that we call samadhi or it's a moksha experience, samadhi being temporary, experience of unified consciousness, and moksha being permanent, what we call enlightenment or nirvana. So this situation of having the ego in control of our actions and thoughts and emotions and all of that kind of stuff is what's mostly at the root of all of our problems. The ego is rooted in fear. And, all fears that we experience are part of the ego's perspective towards life. When you are existing in a unified consciousness, there's nothing to be afraid of because everything is part of you. But as soon as you start to experience yourself as a separate being, then you're no longer, intimately connected to everything else that you encounter, and therefore there's a fear, there's an unknown there that creates a sense of fear. And those fears kind of seep into all aspect of our existence. So this makes it very difficult to be happy, generally speaking, and kind of tends to turn our lives into a big mishmash of crazy stuff that goes on, and we're all sort of familiar with that kind of idea. Now, it's not that the ego or the ahamkara is bad. It's not an evil thing. It's not a dysfunctional thing that's supposed to be cut off in some way, right? It's part of you. It's part of your existence at this time. And but that's the thing. It's just part of you. And really its purpose is to allow you to maneuver around and to do all the things that you need to do while you're incarnated in this body. The trick is that it's not supposed to be in control of what's happening. What you want to be in control is a different part of your mind, which is called the buddhi. It's the higher thoughts and emotions that allow you to connect to a unified state, to be able to visualize or even understand or conceptualize what a unified state of consciousness might be. And if you're allowing that part of yourself to call the shots and be in control and tell the ego what to do so that you can go around and connect with people and do what you have to do for your life, then things start to make sense and you start to move forward much more quickly. So this mantra is designed specifically to, as of right now, to rearrange that relationship, right? To put your ego into a place where it is serving you rather than controlling you. And that's the purpose of the mantra. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here real quick. So here's the mantra. We looked at the first line yesterday. I'm just going to go through a few more of these words, and then we'll do the rest of them next week. So if you recall, the first line, Om Shrim Hrīṁ Klīṁ, is talking about an opening of the heart chakra, and all the reasons why we might want to do that. The seed syllables actually continue. It's got a very long string of seed syllables. Down on this second line, the second word here, gum, this is the seed syllable for Gaṇeśa, Ganesha's bija mantra. So Ganesha's energy is contained inside this sound, gum. So as you repeat that sound, it kind of grows that energy inside your chakra system, allows Gaṇeśa to kind of move around in there and do what needs to be done in order to accomplish the goal of this mantra. This one in front of it, glauṁ, is, I think, a very interesting seed syllable. It's actually an extension of gum. So it's got Ganesha's essence in it, but then it's also combining gum with the seed sound lam, which is the bija mantra that opens up the root chakra in particular. So gum plus lam equals glauṁ is the way that works. So here we're connecting to Ganesha directly in the root chakra, which is first of all, the place where Ganesha's energy lives inside your body, inside your subtle body, and it's also the place from which your ego is acting most of the time, or manifesting into material reality, into the earth plane. So this becomes very powerful, sort of grounding. You know, one of the things is that when your ego is controlling you, when it's calling the shots for what's going on, you will have a tendency to become very ungrounded. And so this is a powerful mantra or seed sound for bringing you back into a grounded state, a centered place, a place of calm and stillness. So glauṁ gum, so we're kind of doubling down on the Ganesha energy, and we're adding root chakra energy into it as well here. Then gaṇapataye, this is Ganapati's name in the dative case, so directing energy to Ganapati, saying the name of the deity in the mantra is very important. We've got this, for those of you not familiar yet, the dot underneath the N indicates a retroflex sound, which means you would curl your tongue back to touch the roof of your mouth as you're saying it. Gaṇapataye, gaṇapataye. It's a weird movement in Sanskrit that we don't normally do in English. So you can give that a try. If it feels really uncomfortable, then you can let it go for today. But I recommend that you kind of start to get used to it. We talk about this quite a bit in the Mantra Intensive and go through it. So to Ganapati, we're asking here, and then vara, varada, sarva, janam. Vara, varada, sarva, janam. So vara means like a gift or a boon. And varada is a giver of gifts, or the act of bestowing a gift or a boon. So vara, varada, then, is the giver of gifts within gifts, right? In a lovely poetic way. Vara, varada. And then sarva, janam. All the people, right? Vara, varada, sarva, janam. To Ganapati, the giver of gifts within gifts to all people, right? So we're kind of talking about, you know, in a sort of a prayer kind of a way. We're reaching out to him as the one who gives freely of his energy, essentially, to us, and is willing to give to everyone all the time. So glauṁ gum gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam me. So Gaṇeśa in the root mantra, to Ganapati, the giver of gifts within gifts to all people. So we'll get into the rest of it. The me, vaśamānāya, svāhā. We'll get into that next week. Don't want to take too much time before we begin chanting. So keeping it up here. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gum gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gum gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Okay, so I'm going to stop this for just a second. Does anybody have any questions before we jump in? If you do, just go ahead and unmute yourself. It's hard for me to keep up with the chat sometimes, so it's better if you just speak up. Okay, we're good? All right, let's go ahead and I will bring that back up onto the screen. And we're ready to begin. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this shared screen up so you can see the mantra there. And look at that for as long as you feel like you need to. We're doing it a lot of times, so you'll definitely get it. after, usually with mantras like this, I find that by the time we've done 27 or so out of the 108, everybody pretty much knows it. Once you feel like you've got it, I would look at something else. Either close your eyes and don't look at anything, or there's this image of Gaṇeśa there. You can look straight into his face if you feel like you want to focus visually on something. Okay. Nice deep centering breath. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam me, vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye, vara varada, sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gam gaṇapataye vara varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam me vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Om śrīṁ hrīṁ klīṁ glauṁ gaṇapataye varada sarva janam vaśamānāya svāhā. Just centering for a few more moments, allowing the energy of the mantra to settle. Okay. So we're well on our way, perhaps, to at least maybe allowing the ego to not be quite in control as much, let's just say. You know, you always want to be compassionate with yourself. It's not like after 3 weeks your ego is going to be completely subservient to your higher self. I mean, it could, you know, but we don't want to expect that. It's a long road, and there's lots of karma to work through to get to that point. So, yeah. It's just a funny kind of a thing. So before we wrap up, I'd just like to say I invite you to continue this practice. You know, we'll be meeting here again next week, same time. We'll do it one more time as a group, but encourage you to continue to do this. You know, if you feel really moved by it in some way, to continue to work with this mantra as a daily practice, if that's something that speaks to you. So to that end, I will put that up on my YouTube channel, put the recording of this video up on my YouTube channel tomorrow. And in case anybody came in afterwards, I'm gonna put it in the chat right there. So you can go there. Like I was saying to folks before, I need to get 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So if you feel like subscribing, that would be great. Apparently, once you get 100 subscribers, then you get to actually name your channel something, right? And it becomes much easier to find. So then it'll be youtube.com/iambasio, you know, or something easy, instead of like that, you know, alphabet soup that we've got there. But that's where it'll be, and yeah, so feel free to check in on that. And many thanks to everybody who donated already. Love you guys donating ahead of time. That makes me feel really good. Just in case you missed that, there's the donation link, and feel free to give something if you have it. You know, it's a tough time right now, and yeah, you know, so just if you have it, I'd be happy to accept, but if not, then I'm also happy to give this practice out purely as a gift to anyone and everyone. So before we wrap up, any questions about what we're doing here? Any questions about the mantra?
Yeah, Ian, this is one of the mantras that I have said ever since I learned it from you several years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it wrong.
Oh, no.
So is there a word goom, G-U-M?
Yes.
And it's different from gam.
It is different from gum. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so
okay.
Gum, gum is for Ganesha. Goom is actually a guru seed sound. You find that in guru mantras. Goom,
okay.
G-U-M. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my ego got in the way because I was trying to sing it the wrong way the whole time. I'll practice though.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's okay. You know, it's goom is a good seed syllable. It's not exactly the one in this mantra, but you still got a lot of energy out of that. So could be worse. That's for sure.
True.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, good. So we'll do a little closing here. We'll do a nice long Om together, then Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu 3 times, and Om Shanti 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 Hi. And we'll be done for the week. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming. Samantha, I feel the same way. It's good to be back on Wednesday nights, chanting with people. And now, look at all you guys. I was thinking about doing this a long time ago, even when we were meeting in person on Wednesdays. I was at some point going to work out, you know, setting up a camera and just like beaming it out on Facebook Live or something like that. And that was something that was supposed to happen, and I just never figured it out. I never got around to, you know, working out how that was gonna go. But, you know, situation being what it is, kind of forced me into, you know, making it happen. And so now it'll be able to happen even once we're all vaccinated and we can get back into groups and stuff like that. I'll probably start doing this live again. But you all will be invited from wherever you are into the circle for that. So I think that's really very, very cool. Okay, unless there's anything else, we're gonna sign off for this week, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday, same time, same channel. All right, namaste. Thank you guys so much. Bye bye.
Bye.